Am I supposed to start?
Yeah.
Whenever.
That is your
I'm a
job.
little fucking rusty, dude. Hey, welcome everybody
Welcome
to the
back
Bar
to
Talk.
the Bar Talk. Oh, sorry, I'm so used to doing that.
Welcome to the Bar Talk podcast. I am one of your hosts, Jordan Shabbat. It's been a while. Thanks for still listening. You're probably still listening because you were hoping that you would never hear my voice again. And joining me, the guy who's always here, Dan Mahoney.
What up, dogs?
And, of course, Andy and Fish are over there, and they're helping us produce this. And
Let's go, kid.
Mr. Heine is not here today.
He's here in tormenting spirit, I think.
Right, yeah. I think, well, we're
at his place.
At his place. We're at the New World Tavern, so I'm pretty sure some fragment of himself haunts this place. So,
He's sleeping under the stage right now.
I wouldn't doubt if he said the wrong thing to Jen. I'm sure he slept under that stage quite a few times.
These chairs are pretty comfy. I could see, it's kind of couch-like. Put three of them together.
It's a lot better than the empty case of Tito's that I've slept on in the basement at Speedwell.
Well, there you go.
I'll take it.
Well, how did it get empty, Jordan? Is that why you slept on it?
Yeah, speaking of empty liquor bottles, I think this is a good episode to talk about St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you be in the bar industry and not love or loathe St. Patrick's Day?
Does anyone really love it if you work it?
If you work,
Yeah.
I would say, I don't know. I you know what? There are some people, man, that I think are just so into the money that I don't know. You know what? That's a good question, man. I don't think there's anyone that loves it. That
Like,
works
I'm
in.
sure you love the money. It's like you...
Is it really that big of a uptick in tips? Like, do people tip better when they're shit-faced?
No, it's not the tip better. It's just there's more
There's
people.
just more
So
people.
you might... It's like...
volume.
Yeah, it's quantity over quality, I think, that day.
I guess the real question is the volume and I guess the overall tone of that volume worth the reward? I don't know. I would say during you're like, fuck this, but afterwards when you're counting your bones, you're like, all right, I don't have to do this for another year. I'm gonna do this for another year.
I can go pay for my fucking psychology appointment.
Busy. I mean,
Right.
Everyone I know refers to it as amateur night.
Yes.
So it's people who don't necessarily normally tying one on.
Plastic patties. That's what us
Plastic
Irish call 'em.
patties?
Plastic patties, man. That's and I'm not gonna sit right here and act like I'm a big Mick or a Mahoney, but
We won't let you in our clan.
I'm a Driscoll.
or a Driscoll, right? But I am part Irish, but I've never really celebrated St. Patrick's Day. I've always worked. At least my legal drinking age life has. But a lot of people just want to be part of it, and they kind of bring shame to the name. You know what I mean?
We know what the biggest difference, I think, for St. Patrick's Day to all the other drinking days is it's literally an all-day thing. Like, there's some bars that open up at 8 o'clock in the morning, and they have a line out there already.
Right.
So that's kind of the difference is it's just, like, chaos from open to close. So.
It's a very American thing to take.
Oh, absolutely.
To take a foreign holiday and appropriate it into a day to just get shit-faced.
Yep.
Funny you say that.
I mean, we did it with Cinco de Mayo.
Yep.
We did it with
Funny
St. Patty's Day.
So, believe it or not, St. Patrick's Day is the most celebrated national feast day or festival day in the world. And that is over Carnival, Chinese New Year, New Year's Day, because our New Year's Day isn't, obviously, because there's a Chinese New Year, isn't observed world round. But for some reason, St. Patrick's Day has this cult following. I think it's because of the drinking nature of it, the party nature.
Yeah.
It's the most celebrated and well-known international holiday. Well, it's not a holiday, but feast.
Yeah.
They consider a day of
it's a
feast.
holiday.
It's
It's
a
the
holiday.
day
It's just
St.
not a
Patrick
holiday.
got
It's
rid of
not
all
a
the
it's
snakes
just not
from
a
Ireland.
federal holiday.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
It should be.
Festival, I know. At
Or
this
maybe
point.
the day after should be the federal
Yeah.
holiday.
Well, the way it's fallen this year, it's on a Sunday, so we're gonna have that entire weekend of scraping people off the
Yeah.
floor.
Get the power washer out.
I was in Montreal for St. Patty's Day, and it was fucking crazy.
In Montreal.
In Montreal.
So another thing they said was the 3 top places to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Now, obviously, you think of St. Patrick's Day, I mean, it's got to be Ireland, right?
No.
Boston,
Chicago?
Massachusetts.
Chicago and
Chicago
Montreal?
was second, and then Montreal, and then Dublin.
Atlanta, Georgia's going to be down there too. I heard. I've always heard that. That's
Really?
It's a huge transplant of like down south. That's where all the Irish population went. So
kidding.
Atlanta, Georgia's
Yeah, there's like a
sneaky.
fountain they turn green down there, right?
Well, I knew Chicago, they dye the river green.
The whole
Yeah,
well, no,
yeah.
there's
That's
somebody
commitment
puking
right
green
there.
beer
Oh, that
out
could
of
be
it,
it, too.
There's a river down the streets of Plymouth that turns green, but I think it's just vomit.
Exactly.
All the
I tell you-
green Bud Lights.
When I turned legal drinking age and went out for St. Patty's Day, I was so like disheartened to find out green beer is just food coloring.
Yep.
Right. Like, they don't brew this with spinach or shamrock?
Well, I'm like, I figured it was like some like, once a year, which I'm surprised there aren't more once a year microbrews that come out for St. Patty's Day.
Right.
I just assumed that's what it was. And you're like, oh, it's Bud Light with green food coloring? Ugh.
Dude, and let me tell you, talk about bartenders hating that day. I'm a nail biter, so like getting shit under my cuticles is pretty easy. I will have green food coloring under my fingernails for 2 weeks after bartending on a St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, not even just under like my skin's
Yeah.
colored green, like just different spots from the stupid.
And
food
people are
coloring.
insistent.
Yo, yeah.
I haven't done it in years, and people get mad, but I don't care. I'm like, well, the 30 people waiting in line to get in here then can come in.
Yeah.
Let one of them in. You can leave and go find green beer somewhere else.
it's-
Ultimately, just bring your own goddamn food coloring. You
Yeah.
can have green anything.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true. I don't even want to tell them that.
I saw someone
Too late.
put it into a Guinness one time, and it just makes it look like sewerage. It was like the ugliest thing.
So they haven't been going to any art classes, no inebriard.
No. It's
Oh,
not a good
my
color palette.
Good. Yeah, and then the
Well, Dan's in Southie now this year.
Yes. Yep.
that's right.
They've
So do you get,
relocated
like,
my
hazard pay,
job.
or-
I don't know. I don't even know if I'm officially working this St. Patrick. I'm just assuming I am because I would
St.
imagine
Patrick's Day.
being on the parade route means it's all hands on
Oh,
deck.
shit, you're on the parade route?
Oh yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
That
Christ.
used to be fucking nuts.
We need to do a
Oh, I think
follow-up
it still
episode.
is. Yeah.
When I
I'm
was
gonna
in,
live stream it.
when I was in high school, it was like the first year they let the gay pride organizations march in the St. Patty's Day parade, and people were fucking mad.
2015.
No, it was long before that. When I was in high school?
When they let people...
No, it was like 90s.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No shit.
And like people were pulling their kids out of the band so they wouldn't be in parade because they were like afraid for them.
Oh, my God.
And
That's wild. That's what they're afraid of, not the giant brawls in the middle of the sidewalk.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
For no reason.
Misdirected
and we were
hostility.
definitely behind them because by the time we would get to certain parts, there would just be condoms all over the place because people were hurling condoms at them. It was fucking nuts.
See, this is the kind of stuff we can talk about when Carl's not here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause he'll throw
And we
them
can
at
talk
us.
about when he's here, but usually it's like, oh.
All right, anyway.
So, yeah, what are your expectations for...
So I grew up 10 minutes north of Boston. I, to this day, have never been to the Southie St. Patrick's Day parade. I avoided it for that reason. So like now I'm like, oh, perfect timing. I'm going to be start my new job working there right around St. Patrick's Day. So I'm expecting chaos. I found out that the town, city, or whatever makes everyone close by 7 o'clock that night,
Oh, really?
which I had no idea. I just assumed it was control. It was just chaos till
Right.
sun up till sun rises again the next day.
Is that just Southie, or is that the
just Southie?
whole... Just Southie. Wow, that's bragging rights. That's pretty badass.
Yeah,
actually.
so you know it's still crazy there, and it's all done by 7 o'clock. So that's how ridiculous it is.
That's wild.
It's not done by 7. It's just
The bars are
aren't
done.
open.
The bars are done. Yeah,
I guarantee.
So everyone
this-
just spills out into the streets.
Right.
And
yeah,
it continues
yeah.
out there, right?
And that's probably when you see all the videos online of people fighting because all
Right.
the bars are kicked out. So
Yeah.
I mean, you can see that any Friday or Saturday night, really. I mean,
yeah, they're just not painted green. That's
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Or maybe they are. I don't know. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting.
I've never even been close to the city. I mean, in relative to maybe some people listen to this, we're close to the city in Plymouth, but I mean, like physically in the city for St. Patrick's Day. I've never even thought about going up there. What's the?
I don't know. I mean, I always avoid it, not because I didn't want to go to the parade. It's just everything closes so early, like the roads and stuff.
Right.
You have to pretty much be there by like 6 a.m.
Right.
Maybe not that early, but in my eyes, it's that early. Like,
Right.
So I'm like, do I really need to wake up that early to start drinking and then like have to figure out how to get home?
It's one of those real like prep days.
Yeah.
Like you have to know
Yeah.
you're going. You have to be prepared. Everyone has to like make a plan.
Yep.
Who's driving? Who's putting what in the cooler?
Yeah. Can we get to the train? Can
Yeah.
we not? So yeah, it's going to be interesting.
My early exposure to St. Patrick's Day was my first bartending gigs were at this big banquet restaurant where we used to just get, wedding, shit like that. But on St. Patrick's Day, it was a big old folks day. So my coming up until I was about 23, 24, I'd been bartending for about 6 years there, was 90-year-old people getting pureed corned beef and cabbage while listening to Irish music.
Oh,
And
my
we didn't
God,
serve Guinness.
pureed?
Not everybody, but there'd
okay.
be like 1,500 senior citizens. Yeah, we'd have to make a couple pureed orders.
Oh, man.
The mustard's right in the blender. Yeah.
Corned beef smoothie.
Put it in a little pouch, squeeze it out, dude, all set, like a Go-Gurt.
St. Patrick's Day juice boxes.
Corned beef and cabbage Go-Gurt, dude. You do some Guinness sorbet, dude, call it a day. But yeah, and then I stepped into the bartending scene in New Bedford, which isn't about half hour from Plymouth, but
Is it big down there? Because that's like a huge Portuguese community.
you would think that it wouldn't be as big, but like I said, man, plastic patties, everybody's Irish on
Yeah.
St.
Yep.
Patrick's Day. So yeah, the streets were painted green, man. It was nuts, and I went from that banquet atmosphere to sort of a bar. There was a beer bar, but I had a nightclubby college bar atmosphere at night. And dude, you couldn't. It would take 30 or 40 nights of mopping to get the green puke stains off the wood floor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was bad, man. It was bad. People just go to another level. It's an excuse to tear it up.
People are always like, "Why aren't you wearing green?" I'm like, "Wearing green is not going to make me more Irish."
Yeah. This bottle of whiskey is.
I'm just gonna like print out the results for my 23andMe, and anyone who says that, I'm just gonna hand it to him.
Show him the shamrock tattooed on my back.
Yeah, the shirt might be white now, but by the end of the night, it'll be fucking green. Oh, it's nuts. That's all because of shamrocks, too. The whole green thing, man, it's all because of fucking shamrocks. So that's the color. That's a sort of say that, me and Dan, big Celtics fans,
Yep.
Boston Celtics, the Irish influence over here from that. But the whole shamrock thing was just basically St. Patrick was trying to convert people to Christianity, and he had the shamrock, which had three sides, and he called it the Holy Trinity, and he was trying to use that as an example, and that's why they associate the shamrock with St. Patrick and the color green. So like the Holy Trinity, the beer, the whiskey, and the coffee, I think is the Holy Trinity, right? Is that the third?
I didn't know that was the
Yeah.
coffee was the third one. Yeah.
Heard that.
I mean, it makes
yeah.
sense,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's
That
why
makes
the
sense.
drinking is associated with St. Patrick's Day. But yeah, it's pretty wild. And then now we just got people pouring green food coloring into beers,
yeah.
fucking wearing green. Obviously Guinness, red ales,
Yep.
Irish whiskey.
The only time you see like Smittix and Killian's Irish Red on draft nowadays
Yeah,
is like
anywhere,
this
right?
the month of March where you get all those beers just come
Yeah.
out of retirement.
Red
That's the only
Sox will wear
place.
green jerseys.
That's the only place you can get. The only time you can get corned beef and cabbage anywhere other than Flinton's.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
Yep.
true. Yeah, I do corned beef and cabbage egg rolls at Speedwell, Irish nachos, corned beef on a burger. Basically, we just buy a shitload of corned beef because it's cheap for a couple weeks. And,
Yeah.
I mean, it's always kind of cheap, but and throw it on everything. And you got Portuguese people crushing it.
Probably still out of it, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Every day. But yeah, it falls on a weekend this year. I don't know. So Speedwell hasn't been open long enough where I think it's fallen on a Saturday before.
Was
Wasn't it
Saturday. Last year was Saturday.
Yeah, last
Yeah,
year's
that's the way
Saturday.
it would work, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of how the
Because I remember it being pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, Saturday had to have been ridiculous because it's an all-day thing, and
Yeah.
most people don't work the next day.
Right.
I mean, with it being a Sunday, at least you have Monday to kind of keep you honest. But I think that means the early risers will be out, and hopefully
Early, yeah.
throwing up in their bed by 6 p.m. So
I'll be in Florida for St. Patrick's
There you
Day.
go.
Florida.
going
Disney. I'll be in
Mickey
Disney,
Mouse's St. Patrick's Day party.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess so. We'll see how it goes. See how they
I'm
turn
sure they'll
it
do
out,
something
man.
for that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it just kind of worked out. Well, I'll be back St. Patrick's Day, but when I told my wife, her family books the trip every year, they got like a timeshare at Disney, and I told my wife, I said, whatever you do when you book the Disney trip, just tell your mom not to book it on St. Patrick's Day. So what she do? She books it from the 10th to the 16th. So the whole weekend I'm gone, and we get back late on the 16th. So I have to rush to work after that. I guess it was a literal thing, but I'm not really upset that I'm going to be missing. I'm a little worried that I'm not going to be in the building for it. But what can you do?
Yeah.
I mean, you're just going to get a bunch of people drinking and.
I mean, you'll be there for it in the Sunday.
I mean, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I'll be in the kitchen.
Yeah. So it's. I mean. But like you said, it's gonna be an all weekend long thing. I think.
Yeah.
Friday will be like the domino, first one to fall.
2:00, everybody getting out early from work.
Yep.
Tearing it up. Washing machine effect. Saturday morning. Wash machine
effect.
Wash machine effect. It's when you react. You have a drink the day after a day of drinking the day before, whatever, and you reactivate all the leftover booze in your stomach, and you get after one drink, you're right back. You're right back where you let off. I don't know, man. We celebrate the wash machine effect. It's an affordable way of just staying placid for an entire weekend. You
can't be sober if you stop drinking.
Right. Before you and you just you take a little 6-hour nap. You have a beer right when you wake up, and the washer machine effect.
Keep some nightstand whiskey right next to the bed.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, yeah.
The first inebriate painting event we ran turned out to be a St. Patty's Day. That was a poor choice.
People's whipping green paint at each other.
We had green food color.
We were shit-faced before we started.
All right, now we're going to finger paint this shit.
Because there was a little nerves going into something brand new.
Yeah, so I show up kind of late. And by late, I mean I got out of work at 4, so I got there at like 5. So they're like 2 pitchers in. But they've had one because...
No. That was a Red Sox game.
No. I think that you use the same rule. If you're,
we might have carried it over.
If you're...
we came up with this rule where
if your beer is
never
pitcher,
empty, and your beer is never empty,
only had
that's
one. So they'd had one beer, 3 pitchers worth of one beer. Oh my god! So I'm showing up. They're both tanked. I'm sitting there going, well, fuck. I guess I'm playing catch up. So I'm just drinking whiskey all night.
Oh god!
Because god damn it, it's what you do. So halfway through, the guy running the event lost track where he was.
Yep.
Lost his notes. Did not know what his next step was. Asked me.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'd never seen the damn painting before in my life. I had no idea what was next. I'm just going to make some shit up. It's like, dude, they don't know. I don't know. You don't know. Wing it. Nobody's going to care. We're all pissed drunk right now. God bless St. Patrick's Day.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Good time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Those cool mountain shamrocks you guys ended up drawing that day were epic.
It was a dolphin and a sunset, I believe.
All right.
Memory serves.
And then again, they did come out really cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. The less you paid attention, the more you went off on your own. We had a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. We had a UFO abducting a dolphin. It
when people get drunk, their paintings get more interesting. So.
Yeah,
I like it.
Is there any noteworthy stories that you guys have had St. Patty's Day style?
I'm trying to think. Like, I've worked in so many off-theme St. Patrick's bars. Like, obviously I worked at a British bar for a very long time before I worked at an Italian restaurant. So we've never been like the huge, that's where you go for St. Patrick's Day. I mean, nothing outside the regular kicking people out for smoking cigarettes in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Being colored in green food coloring.
Do we have like a Irish place in downtown Plymouth?
I feel like, Dylan's now.
Oh, yeah.
And he throws a rager down there, too.
Yeah.
Dylan's, who we had on the show from Dylan's? Pete Burgess. Down there
Matt.
Right?
Yeah.
Right, Tiso.
Matt Bean.
Bean, I'm sorry, right. And he's down there now. Yeah, they put a tent out. They didn't do it last year, I think, because...
the weather was crappy, right?
Yeah, and they were expecting, I think, too. There was just... I remember talking to Colin, he was just like, I'm too busy. But they put a tent outside, and they...
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he ran out of Guinness. He had to come borrow a keg for me. Actually, I got to think about that. But I think I don't have any stories that come right to mind with St. Patrick's Day because I think I gear myself up so much and lower the bar so much. Like, my expectations are so low that when something happens, I'm just expecting it, so it's not.
You're like, of course the guy's going to throw up in the fryer later.
Exactly. And I told him to go home and come back the next day to cook. You know what I mean? But... nothing really comes to mind other than just the usual,
kicking drunk people. Yeah, I kicked a guy out at like 11:30 last year.
Yeah,
but I think that was the only person I had to kick out. So,
right,
I'm like, that's a good.
Is it just like so busy that you don't get that? Yeah, almost you don't have that time to kind of like really deal with it. So you don't cut them that second chance to do something really stupid.
Yeah, that's what I think it is.
Yeah.
You got to kind of
Short fuse.
You have to have that short leash for everybody.
Yeah.
It's like the night before Thanksgiving. It's like expect the worst, and then if it doesn't happen, you're pumped. But
Right.
Yeah.
like I said, I don't think anything too ridiculous because it's so busy. There's not a lot of downtime for anything ridiculous to happen, and it's
Yeah.
like
I think we have my coolest story is the pureed corned beef and cabbage. That's the only one I can
That's
remember.
so disgusting.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It's pretty.
Pretty rank. But, I mean, isn't boiled cabbage soft enough where you don't have to puree it?
yeah, you
Prove
don't
me
even need
wrong.
the potatoes. Like that's
And
that
corned beef is usually pretty like
Yeah, tender,
bold.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you got to be that certain
Like,
level. Of
I guess
not
if you don't have any
being
teeth, then
Yeah, no, I don't know. I think it was more about digestion or something.
oh, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I can tell you I've cleaned as much chowder out of urinals as I have puke, so that's how long I've heard that is. But, anywho.
but
Yeah, no shit. But I don't know. It's funny. I almost feel like St. Patrick's Day is going to end earlier this year, like party-wise, because of the Sunday.
Yeah.
Where people, I mean, it is what it is. You
So I think
gotta go back to
Saturday
work.
will be a lot busier. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of people are going to go out Saturday, and then a lot of people are going to go out Sunday morning. So I think brunch people are going to be out of control.
Yeah, I won't be open for that shit. Remember they used to, Harpoon Brewery used to put on a road race in town. And they would...
Mayflower does that.
Mayflower does it now,
Yeah.
but Harpoons was right in the center of Plymouth, and they would have a rep go around like a month ahead of time and go to bar and say, hey, we're going to buy like this many amount of beers. People from the road race would all get a ticket, and you would tap 2 Harpoon beers. They have an Irish Red they brew specifically for St. Patrick's Day, and then they have their stout, which is it's an Irish dry. It's similar to Guinness. You put those 2 on, and then everybody on their bib, that's what they call it, right? I never run a fucking road race.
Yeah.
Look at me. But,
I love how you're asking us.
Yeah, all right, yeah, that's right.
I've seen people
one of
run.
you strapped and athletic men. Yeah, so they get like a ticket on their bib, and they just go to a bar, and they wouldn't have to pay. They would just drop their ticket off and get a beer. So you would just get a shitload of dehydrated, sweaty, washing machine effect runners. And we'd have to open a little early because the road race would end at like 11. I would open at 11:30, so I would open at 11 for them. And you just immediately, right off the rip, just be filled with smelly, sweaty runners that have done nothing but drink beer to hydrate themselves. And then that Harpoon, it was great though. It was a nice little like shot in the arm to start off the day. It would always be on the Saturday closest to St. Patrick's Day. Not necessarily before or after, I don't believe. But yeah, just a crowd of runners would come in, and then the Harpoon rep would come by around 2 o'clock. He's 3/4 into the bag, and he would just drop his credit card, be like, I don't know, how many tickets you think you got in that bucket? I don't know, 300. And
Great.
pay for 300 beers, move on to the next bar. And it was a great thing. And for whatever reason, I don't know if people, the higher-ups in Plymouth, politics or whatever, just didn't enjoy it or didn't like the way it went down.
We call those the fun police.
Yeah, the fun police really cracked down. But, there wasn't really now I think about it, most of those people were probably in bed by 2, and then you just recycled.
You get the next people that just woke up at 2, now they're coming out drinking.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Exactly,
it.
right. It was a good time. Again, I can't remember any specific horror stories. I feel like everybody turns it up, but knows that the Big Brother's watching kind of on that day. Like everyone's on high alert. So they limit themselves just enough. Like they toe the line, but either once they wear their welcome out at another bar, they go to another one, or they're careful enough to Uber or...
Yeah, I think it's a lot of pub crawling that day, too.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's why. So you probably don't get people sticking around long enough to kind of...
Be a real nuisance.
Yeah.
That's a good point. So, yeah, it's wherever they ended up last, I guess.
Yeah, who got the end of the night?
My door guy's friend of the show, Jeff Meyer, Jeff Weber, I should say. It's his Facebook name's Jeff Meyer, excuse me. But he's the doorman at Speedwell, and they do a good job of making sure the people that have been to 7 bars beforehand don't even get that far. So that's kind of the fun place, too. Like, we don't get any good stories because we kind of prevent them at the door.
Yeah.
Not saying to stop doing your job, Jeff. Keep going. You're doing great.
You keep being the fun police.
He doesn't
Those
listen.
assholes.
So, on most days, especially Super Bowl Sunday, there's tons of promotions being like, come out, because.
Right.
So, is there any need to promote any kind of promotion on a day like St. Patty's Day?
I promote food because
Yeah.
I want people to eat. And it's not that I make money on it or anything like that. And you gear it to the corned beef thing because you want to be cute, but also because you don't want to not have something another place has.
Right.
Everyone wants to eat corned beef that day, so that's great. But it's more about making sure they're pacing themselves. So I really, really push the food because you want people to kind of stay and have more than one beer, but you don't want them to get too fucked up.
So you want to be safe.
Yeah. So I promote food because I know I'm not going to have any issue filling the place. And the only issue I might have is people overindulging and getting fucked up and punching out somebody and breaking something in the restaurant, which is something I deal with day to day. But that day is like, eat. Please eat something. And I even price the food lighter. Like, I keep it on the cheap, and I just kind of want people to, eat some mozzarella sticks, eat this, eat that.
You heard it here first. Free food, Speedwell.
No, I don't know about free. I didn't say free. You want some oyster crackers because you're not feeling too well? I'll think about it.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But,
I need 50 servings of oyster crackers.
$10 for a 2-pound plate of Irish nachos. I think that's fair. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But that's more so what I do. I don't know. What, have you done anything in the past?
We've done like Guinness glass engravings. Like, here's a free T-shirt, stuff like that. But like you said, you don't really need to go too crazy on it because people are drinking either way. Like,
yeah, it's like
there's no shortage of people.
Why
drinking.
Waste the time putting together something if people are going to show up anyways?
Like, you're better off doing it the day before. Like, I've done some pre-St. Patrick's Day parties. Like, I'm trying to remember. We did something, I think, with Barrel House Z last year. They released their Towny Red.
Right.
It might not have been last year. It might have been a couple years ago.
It was like an 11% beer. That's an awesome.
Yeah. So I'm like, we're not going to do that on St. Patrick's Day. We're going to do it the day before. But yeah, the biggest wild card with St. Patrick's Day is that's right when the weather could turn from shitty to nice. Like,
it could be gorgeous.
Yeah, it could be. You could get like 2 feet of snow, or it could be 85 degrees out. So, and I don't know which really helps more. Like,
I remember there was one year that Harpoon Road race I was talking about. They had to move it because there was so much ice on the roads. They didn't want runners running on it. So we got like 2 St. Patrick's Day weekends, which me and Carl talk about it all the time. So you can obviously tell I miss them because I'm bringing them up. But there was this,
can we put some soft romantic music over this?
Yeah, we'll put it over what I said earlier about my crotch on the bar. But out of context. But it was snow on St. Patrick's Day weekend, or like after snow. There was ice all over the sidewalks, all over the ground. Did a terrible job of cleaning up. I think it was just one of those like flash storms where it just froze so quick. There was really nothing you could do. And they were like, all right, shit, we're going to move that road race. But people still went out. They don't give a fuck.
Yep.
You could slide and drink, you know what I mean? People ice
probably more fun.
Right.
It hurts less when you're drunk.
Yeah.
Right. And then 2 weeks later, it was like 60 degrees out. They did the road race, and all of a sudden you were like, holy shit, I didn't staff up enough. It's St. Patrick's Day all over again. It was like March 31st or something. But that was a pretty rad. But yeah, you're right. You can get a good chance at like some solid weather. So you got St. Patrick's Day and like people overcompensating for the cabin fever from the winter.
Yep.
And just getting outside and getting after it. They'd probably do that anyway, even if it wasn't St. Patrick's.
Oh man, that first thaw.
Yeah.
And going into the spring, when you get that really first nice, not even really nice, just like a decent day, is the worst day ever.
Yeah.
I really think I hate that day worse than I hate St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, it's just like everyone that hasn't been out for like months or however long.
And everybody always ends up down here. Like
Yeah.
when I first came to Plymouth, I used to hang over at Fridays at Colony Place. And you'd walk in one day and you'd be like, where the fuck is everybody? Like, the place was and they're like, it's like 70 outside.
Right.
They're all down on the waterfront.
Yep. It always coincides.
If I didn't have to work, I'd be there too.
Yeah.
Everybody's all in there like their sunny day feels. They're all talking to strangers. They're ordering fruity drinks.
They're walking around in flip-flops and shorts, and it's like not quite warm enough.
It's 55, but they're letting their, like you, I'm a pale guy. They're letting it all hang out. You know what I mean? It's like
got their Birkenstocks sandals walking through like fucking like snowbanks because it's still.
And they just feed off each other. I just sound like such a grumpy old man right now, but I don't give a fuck.
But it's not. It's not even that though. Too, because you get like everyone else, the normal people. But then there's like a special layer of crazy people that like when the frost breaks, they come out of the ground and like show up like, I've never seen you before and I'll never see you again, but you pop up on that first 60-degree day every year. Yeah, like that's
just someone digging themselves out.
It's legit. It's legit. Punxsutawney Phil like syndrome or something like that. Like, I'm gonna invent that right now.
Like, didn't you had a small person spit in your face or something?
Yeah, I had I think it's always been on a day like that. Like the guy that I kicked out 4 times
with the shirt,
kept changing his shirt, thinking like it's always something like that.
I love that you, king of sneakers and amusing T-shirts, had to kick out a guy that changed his shirt every 10 minutes.
Yeah,
that's just irony.
I know. know.
Right
The
there.
guy probably didn't do anything. He was probably just
He
jealous.
just
Yep.
didn't like his shirt.
Oh, you sure? Get the fuck out.
I'm the shirt guy.
Yeah,
Motherfucker.
there's only room for one of us.
It's so funny. It's so true, though. Dude, you're right. It's like when the world's like all line up when it's a really nice day and St. Patrick's Day, because you get all the weirdos. You got people that are out and don't even realize it's St. Patrick's
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Why is it so busy? Yeah.
Why is there so many people out today? Like, well, buddy.
And then you got March Madness kind of going on around
Yeah.
the same time, too, and that's when it's starting to get really good, too. So you do have that, too.
I don't think they line up this week. I think, that might be Selection Sunday.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think it
knew it
is
was
so-
something big
yeah.
going on.
The tournament's pushed back a little bit.
So I remember reading a study one time where they say couples tend to break up in the spring.
Yeah.
Do you
Because-
see more like people out in the prowl, kind of?
Or the breakups happen. I've seen a couple breakups happen.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yep.
Oh, that's uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's very uncomfortable. And luckily, I want to say I was only bartending for one of them. It's been a while. But yeah, I've seen some breakups happen. And you know what? Now that you say that, yeah, spring.
Well, it's because the winter's, they call it boyfriend season. It's like when all the
Right,
girls
right,
get
everyone-
boyfriends for the
yeah.
winter.
Right.
You know, that's the
So
spring.
everyone's comfortable. They have someone to hang out at
Yep.
home with, and
And spring is the season of rebirth.
Yep.
well,
You know?
there's spring. They're like, why am I keeping this lazy shit around? And
Yeah.
When New Year's,
I've had enough of her crap.
You got to
You
spring
see-
ahead, Andy.
You see a couple girls out, looking good, wearing their springtime clothes, and you're like, why am I with this girl?
Yeah.
Yon, I've never thought that.
It was
matter,
a
you got a kid now,
hypothetical
you're-
Oh,
person.
good. Oh, yeah, all right,
It
cool,
was
cool.
Punxsutawney Phil.
Yeah. The temperature went up a little bit in the room, so.
Hashtag New Year, New Me didn't work for New Year, so they wait till spring, and they're like, oh, now it's time for New
Yeah.
Year, New Me. It's a little warmer out.
Gotta
The
get that
bathing suit's getting much closer.
Spring break
Yeah.
happens.
They say shed the weight. I thought it meant my boyfriend.
Shedding the emotional pounds.
They're like, new season of Game of Thrones, new person to watch it with,
Right,
you know,
right.
that
Yep.
kind of thing.
Right, and Avengers Endgame. Come on, man. Who isn't excited about
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
is that?
April, baby.
Yep.
Come on.
Captain
let's go.
Marvel's
Oh,
next
Captain
month.
Marvel's-
April is Nerd
yeah.
Month, dude. Let's go.
I think March, you kind of get a lot of it now.
Yeah, March
Yeah.
is Captain Marvel, but April.
Well, April
Endgame.
is,
Game of Thrones.
but it's also Free Comic Book Day.
I didn't even
Is
know
it
that was
April?
a thing.
No, is
And
it
I was
May?
born in April. It's officially
Oh, it's
Nerd
May.
Month.
Because normally they line up a comic book movie with Free Comic Book Day.
And it might be Avengers
Research?
Endgame.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Free Comic Book Day is the first Saturday in May.
All right.
Oh.
And they usually line up a big release.
Is that May 4th this
But-
year?
I don't have my
I know I have to go
calendar
to
open.
a wedding on May 4th,
Yeah.
so I just assume it's a Saturday.
Do you know what day Avengers Endgame comes out? In
Nope.
April?
No, they
Research?
haven't announced it yet. I don't think they just keep saying April. I mean, I
April
imagine it's a
2019.
late on it's a Thursday, so. Well, they
So
technically say-
for the first Saturday. In
So
May
yeah,
is
May
gonna-
4th is a Saturday.
Yep.
All right.
May the 4th be with
I'm
you.
going to a Star Wars themed wedding.
Are you really?
No.
It's going to be when he gets there. The bride and groom's up there dancing his Boba Fett costume.
Showing up swinging lightsabers
A
around the
wedding I would
hammer.
love to
Yep.
be at.
That'd be awesome.
Looks like you and Yana renewing your vows.
I know. Jabba the Hutt and Princess Leia.
Joey's little.
He's trying anything to get her into that costume.
Man, shouldn't call my wife Jabba the Hutt. That's terrible.
Really.
I'm so happy.
I'm really glad she doesn't listen to this
these.
yet. Do you know what I
This is gonna be the
realized?
first one.
I realized that it doesn't take very long for your significant other to not listen.
No, yeah.
The first
If
couple,
you ask her to, she will never
well,
listen. I'm the same way.
the first couple will
Right.
listen, and then
Right.
they're like, "Yeah, I fucking listen to this guy all the time."
Right.
Yep.
Like,
I'm tired of your voice
yeah.
as it is. Why am I going to go out of my way to
Yeah.
listen?
I'm not going to download you off the internet. I hear you all the time.
So you know what's funny is my girlfriend doesn't listen, but her grandmother does.
Oh, really? Are you serious?
Yeah, I don't know if she still does, but she has in the past.
That's
Family
interesting.
bonding must be awesome, dude. You and Grandma just chilling in the corner.
Yeah.
That must come up with some really interesting conversation.
Oh, I was going to wait, the Alicia... the Alicia episode that went up, right?
It went up.
It went up
Did
briefly,
one.
right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
It's the Bartok Lost episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that. We have like a secret menu,
Yeah.
like McDonald's.
It'll be in the anniversary package.
We'll put it up. We'll put it up again someday.
Yeah, it goes up for one day a year.
Just put it up on St. Patrick's Day. No one will remember.
There
Yeah.
you go. You guys want to do some questions?
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's
All
do some
right.
questions.
This one comes from.
Can you read them in Carl's voice?
No, I can't.
It's worth a try.
Hey,
Joy-
kid.
Hey.
I'll read it last call. Hey, kid, I can't see this. Can you unlock it?
No, basically every question you have to say is stupid and ask for their name 4 times.
Stupid name. I've done it.
Wait for Jabin Arif says, OMG, yesterday was my first day training at, I'll leave out the place, says, I'm incredibly sore. So many stairs and a lot of back and forth, up and down. Any tips to make this less painful? I felt like my legs were going to give in, and I was close to falling multiple times. So this is a very Plymouthy kind of problem, I feel like.
Well, they didn't say where they started training, if it was a restaurant. It could have been the massage parlor that Robert Kraft just got.
Oh, I was wondering if we get into that today.
That's like I'm not going to answer this girl's
stairs in
question. I'm just going to make a Robert Kraft joke.
Highly recommend, and if you want to stay on a budget, good shoes, man. You got to buy, like, really good. Non-slip is important, and it's not just for safety. Like, if you're constantly trying to brace yourself behind a bar or in a kitchen from slipping and falling down, you're using muscles you've never used before. If you get non-slip shoes that got, like, memory foam in them, Skechers makes a great pair. They're like $30. Skechers, sponsor the show.
I was just going to say, Skechers, we're available for sponsorship.
That's your one freebie, Skechers. But, yeah, safety steps, you can get those at Walmart. Mad cheap, too.
Amazon has tons of them, too.
Yeah.
If you're lazy like me and don't want to go places.
Right. But, hey, you know what? This fucking industry is hard work. That's why we're doing a podcast about it. Like,
Yeah.
suck it up, Buttercup. Get ready. You're about to get in a restaurant shape.
Honestly, like, it's back to keep with the shoes. Like, most people in our industry do not change their shoes. Like, I've seen so many people that walk on, like, their toes are poking out. I'm like, dude, your fucking feet must kill when you go home. Not to mention, like, the random dishwasher puddles you'll step in behind a bar or something.
Chuck Taylors are always trendy behind the
Yeah.
bar. I'm like, yeah, you look like a cute hipster, but
Those are
your
not.
hips must be
Those are
right.
not comfortable to stand on.
No, and I love Chuck Taylors, don't get me wrong, but they're not work shoes. Like,
No.
I'll wear, like, my regular street clothes, but as soon as I get to work, I switch to my kitchen shoes, even if I'm not in the kitchen. I look like a goofball. I don't care, but, like...
That's not your kitchen
Yeah,
clothes.
that's not the shoes.
yeah. You know.
I'm wearing my Chucks right now, but I sit for my job, so fuck it.
Exactly.
Keep your shoes on.
Shoes, check those shoes.
All right,
Stretching.
stretching.
Yep.
Stretching is very important.
Some pregame stretching.
Stay hydrated.
Pre and post.
Yeah. So this one's from Lisa Nelson. It says, Where I work, we rotate tables. We don't have a hostess, so it's a servers who greet and sit customers. How do we keep track of whose turn it is? I keep track pretty good, but it seems some I work with cannot. I lost some tables tonight because there was claim they didn't know whose turn it was, and they didn't hear me say it was mine.
Sounds like you're the new person and you're getting screwed. They're playing dumb.
Yep. Restaurant Fight Clubs. That solves everything.
Yeah, absolutely. My Speedwell's built the same way, but we only ever have 2 servers on the floor at a time, so it's really hard to screw up. But I'd say if you got 3 or more, I could see how a rotation could get confusing, especially if you're weeded. But, I mean, it's simple math. I mean, if 2 servers have 5 tables and the other 2 have 4, then one of those 2 that have 4 is up next. You 2 figure it out. You know what I mean? I guess in the weeds it's kind of tough, but sounds to me it might be some foul play.
I've always worked in a place that had hosts.
I feel like if they don't have hosts, it's got to be pretty small.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So it's like usually if you have probably 3 or more, you have a host.
Right.
But 3 might be the cutoff. So if it's only 3 people, you should be able to keep track, or 2, like you said. So
Right. You
you're
count
getting
your money okay?
fucked. Yeah.
Do you think it could be a little bit of maybe this person's a little more sheepish and the other people are just
Yes.
a little more aggressive?
Yeah, I think so. It sounds like she might be a little new, Lisa, right?
Yeah.
She might be either one of the, like, lower on the totem pole seniority-wise, or maybe just a little timid, and she's working with a couple people, or maybe a few people or more that are, going there gung-ho, making their money in their 6 to 8 hours, want to get as many tables as possible. Just throw your shoulder in there, keep track, to the best of your ability. Don't give them the benefit of the doubt. Keep count of, how many tables are filling up around you. You should have a pretty good vibe of when your tables come up next. And speak up, stand up for yourself. And if there's a superior on duty, even if it's not a hostess, mention it. Don't be a rat, but just be like, hey, I just noticed I'm getting skipped a couple times. Is there a better system we should be doing? Or
It's easy to keep a checklist, just like, mark it down. But obviously everyone's going to be on that page.
Absolutely, yeah.
And the easiest way to not be a rat, I mean, I shouldn't say it's easy, because if there's 3 waitresses or 3 servers, it's hard not to. But, like, you don't name names. You
Yeah.
just be like, hey, it seems like I'm getting short. Not be like,
Right.
Susie's taking my tables.
Yeah, don't blame them. Just be like,
Yeah.
is there something I'm doing wrong? Is there a reason why I'm not getting any tables? Like, you're not saying, you're passive aggressively sort of throwing them under the bus,
Right.
but you never name them. And
Right.
that's, I mean,
And
passive aggression is the first language of Speedwell Tavern. My entire staff.
I've seen the
None of
post-it
them-
notes.
They all love me, so they don't want to hurt my feelings. But when I do a terrible job, I know about it in a very soft way. So
It's weird. I've never heard them say they love them.
sometimes they say actions speak louder, so a quick hip check right there, that will get
Yeah.
send your point across. So. That's for the bold, though.
They tell me they love me once in a while.
Yeah.
I take their word for it.
It's payday. They tell
Yep.
them.
Yeah. When they need a day off.
When
Yeah,
it's
exactly. Yeah.
payday.
Heather Kelly asks, well, this is kind of... I grabbed this question from a while ago, so let's roll back time a little bit.
Okay.
Is your restaurant bar open on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day? If so, are you working those days? We are open all holidays, but luckily we have only 5 bartenders and we get to work together, so everyone was happy in working the shifts that worked for them. Should all restaurants be closed on holidays, in your opinion? So, were you guys open on the holidays?
I think, yeah, so I was not open Christmas Day. I always close Thanksgiving Day and Christmas Day. I have a bartender who really likes to come in and work on holidays. She's got a big following. She's my full-time bartender. So she'll come in. I don't let her come in on Thanksgiving because that's my favorite holiday. But, and I don't want
Couldn't tell.
I don't. It's like Christmas without all the obligation and commercial bullshit. But Christmas Day, she wants to come in at night, get away from her family. Hope her grandmother doesn't listen to this. But and I let her come in and work. But that's only voluntary. And this kitchen's not open because I have no kitchen guys that want to come in. The door guys, they don't come in. So I give her $100. I say, order some Chinese food, put out some food for people because you have to have food to open. And she bartends, and that's it. But no, I close early on Christmas Eve. I don't open on Christmas Day, technically, and I don't open on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we always did half days. Like we did half day Christmas Eve, like George said.
I was hanging out at your place on Christmas Eve.
What was that?
I said I was hanging out at your
Yeah.
place on Christmas Eve.
I was there. Maybe. Christmas Day and all that, we don't have to open, or we didn't have to open. But if you wanted to go in, you could. So a lot
So
of
it's
people
kind of
did.
an optional thing?
Yeah, but always someone went in for it because it's good money. And you can close when you want to if it wasn't too crazy. So
There's a lot of people that, and I think for the most part, people have family things and stuff like that to go to. But there are a lot of people that don't have that. They're either, displaced because of work or just having an unfortunate situation or just have a small family and maybe people have moved on or other people have moved away. Whatever. For whatever reason, they're alone on the holidays or they have a very small crowd. Going to a bar, if I was in that situation, I would want to sit at a bar and just kind of chill out. And it's nice that there are a couple places that stay open. And then you got like the bigger restaurants, like the one I kind of came up with, like the banquet restaurants, where they serve Christmas dinner. So yeah, it's a work day and you can't get out of it. So I guess it's kind of what place you work at too. And I guess that's sort of case by case basis.
And this is not a bar or restaurant thing. I used to work at the phone company. It was open 24/7, and miraculously, every year I had to work Thanksgiving, so I don't have to go to the in-laws.
Is it like a luck of the draw? I'm
like, I can't believe it. They scheduled me again.
I always work Christmas Eve up until we close because I like having that. I'll get to my thing on my terms kind of thing. Like, if I want to hang out and just have a beer by myself between my work shift and going to my family's house, I can do that instead of feeling like they know I'm just sitting at home and dicking around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
See, mine was like I could go to the in-laws or I could make double time.
Yeah.
well, that's like we have a tradition of Christmas Eve whiskey. So
yes,
we
do.
just have to drink some kind of fancy
Absolutely.
whiskey on Christmas Eve.
Yeah,
after the bars close.
Mahoney has an extensive whiskey selection, and I get to sample that.
That's George's Christmas present.
That's what we were drinking in Vegas the other night.
Some fancy whiskey from my collection.
It wasn't from your collection. Do you keep your collection in Vegas?
It might be
At Liquor World? All right. This is from Lindsay Noosh.
Noosh.
Noosh? Neusch.
Yeah, I'd say Noosh.
Noosh. See, I got it right, as far as I'm concerned. Does anyone else have a mandatory meeting that lasts 2 hours? I have to go in tonight in 30 minutes. It's only going to be how us servers and staff is fucking up. I'm leaving.
George, you have tons of these meetings. Well, tons, but
2 a year.
2 a year. That's too
2 a
many.
year.
But I've heard about your meetings. After your meeting, you take your whole, like, you're not open those days, right?
Nope.
And you take your whole staff out.
Correct.
So I think that's a pretty dope thing to do, and
Thank
it
you.
shows your staff you respect them. Be like, listen, I'm going to lay it on the line.
Right.
And that's the thing, is like, it all depends on the manager. Their manager may be like, you are fucking up. But in the other aspect is you have to be able to take criticism.
Right. And it goes both ways at our meetings, too. So...
Do they have a Jordan roast? Can we attend?
Can we record?
I wish they did, man. I wish they did, because I know I'm not
Yeah, can we
perfect.
record?
Yeah, when's the next one?
The next one would be it's usually June, July. That's when we do the call crawl. We all wear Hawaiian shirts and crawl around Plymouth, and I usually take them down to we end at Pillory Pub, friends of the show. But
I almost said, is there anywhere that's not friends of the show? Then I'm like, oh, that's a bad question to ask. That's just
Carl's
not
got a
asking.
reputation.
Yeah.
yeah, we do. All right, so this is the way I look at it. So I don't really have many people that work at Speedwell where Speedwell's their only job. It's just a vagrant industry. It's kind of how it goes. You know, I got people that'll work a couple nights a week, and then they got their full-time, quote-unquote, real jobs. But I ask them twice a year for an hour and a half. They don't have to party with us after, but it's about an hour and a half. They have to take, I don't care if they have another job, they got to find a babysitter, I don't give a fuck what it is. School, don't care. That's the 2 days of the year, one day in July and one day in January, that they got to come in, get their screws tightened a little bit, and then I kind of, say, hey guys, we're just going to do this better. Everyone's going to get complacent. It is what it is. You get comfortable, especially in the atmosphere that Speedwell is. I'm not hard on anybody. It's wicked laid back. But I got to tune them up every 6 months. But after I do that, I feel so terrible that I'm like, hey, if I buy everybody drinks for the next 4 hours...
Will you guys still love me?
They kind of forget everything I just yelled at them about. I don't yell.
Well, I say if they forget about everything you yell, is that a good thing?
I think
I think he just hit the flaw. Yeah. It's like, wait a second.
The 3 weeks after every meeting are the best weeks ever, and then it all kind of goes back. But
Slow
as long as service is always good, and I can deal with a ketchup bottle being forgotten to fill up, or an occasional instead of filling the spray bottles with cleaner, they top it off with water because they don't feel like going down the basement. I can deal with that once in a while, but that's really all the meetings are. I mean, if this person's upset about the place they make a lot of money at, that's helping them pay their bills, they got to go in for a 2-hour meeting. Like, dude, all right, you can't give up 2 hours to get better at your job and hear from your superior, then fuck, you're in the wrong industry, dude.
Yeah.
Like, imagine working, I don't know if anyone's worked in the corporate world here, but you have a fucking meeting every day.
Every week.
That means
Yeah.
nothing.
Oh my God.
It means nothing. Andy, enlighten us.
When I worked at friggin' Home Depot, there was a conference, at least one conference call every week. I was required to have a meeting with my team every morning for at least 15 to 30 minutes. Every morning.
It's unbelievable.
By Thursday, you're like, I've literally had meetings on zombie preparedness. Because I'm like, I have nothing to fucking talk about today, so let's talk zombies.
Yeah.
And it's just, they meeting everything to death, and this person said 2 hours. The real question is, how often do those 2 hours happen?
That's a good question.
Yep.
Yeah,
Correct.
because if you're doing 2 hours
Every month, that might be a bit much.
Probably every
twice
quarter,
a year,
not even, yeah.
whatever, if you're doing it
Quarter, I think's okay.
monthly
Yeah.
or, God,
Weekly.
some crap.
Weekly would be fucking
2 hours
ridiculous.
every week.
Yeah.
It's like, no offense, if you're getting dragged in 2 hours every week, no one is doing their job right.
Yep.
Because you shouldn't need to get... Nothing should be happening so often that it's addressed that often.
Correct.
But yeah, I mean, we had quarterly. We would get. They were semi. So it's twice a year. We got bonuses at Home Depot if we made sales plan. In order for you to get your check, you had to go to a meeting on a Sunday at the ass crack of dawn.
Sounds like they were
There's
smart
anybody
in
that
that
opted
plan.
out, fuck the bonus. I just...
Yeah.
Well, sometimes
not,
you would
but-
go in and the bonus would be like fucking chump change.
Right.
And you'd be like, really?
It's a payday.
And they'd be like, here's
it's
some...
a payday. It's
Yeah.
a payday candy bar.
Payday, not even.
It costs us more to print this check than you're getting.
Literally. I've had people on my team call me up and be like, did we get our bonuses? Because a lot of people would get direct deposit. And I'm like, why are you asking? And be like, there's an extra $30 in my checking account. And you'd be like, oh, shit.
Wow.
Yeah, so...
That's funny. Those
There's
meetings, they suck, but how often you get everyone in your staff in the same building at
Right,
once?
yeah.
Like, you need to do it every once in a while. Like,
And that's why I marry the day with the rager. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Because I hire people not necessarily based on experience or skill, I guess you could say. I hire them on personality because it's the
Well, you
restaurant
hired
industry.
Jeff and Matt Audette. I don't think you had to say you didn't hire people for skill.
There you go. Thank you. Jam-packed. They're not jam-packed with episodes anytime.
Oh, that's cold.
but
They don't have a similar day off.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys.
I don't care. That's still funny. All right. This one comes from Jen Starchak. Says, what do you follow on social media that's related to restaurants? Looking to build up a better Instagram and Twitter feed for myself. So do you guys go to...
Angry bartender. It's the best
Yeah,
thing ever.
Angry bartender's pretty good.
Is that
it makes me angry though, and I don't bartend anymore, so I feel like I'm kind of the guy laughing at someone else's joke at this point. And then I'm like, shit, man, I hope my bartenders don't feel that way. And then I get nervous, and I'm like, oh no. But yeah, angry
And then he's like, you guys still love me, right?
yeah. Let's go out for drinks.
We're going to go drinking, guys. I just met this angry bartender.
So if you want to go out for drinks on the company tab, Speedwell is hiring.
That's my new job now.
I would tell this person, first of all, to follow the Bar Talk podcast.
Yep.
Obviously, it sounds like they already do.
Yep.
But, yeah, Angry Bartender is good. I'm more food-focused. I follow a lot.
Yeah, but
of,
I mean, are there like because I mean, you're always doing special burgers and stuff. Is there like a place you look for inspiration?
yeah, I follow on Instagram a lot of food pages. So, like, the French fry guy, who I don't even know what it is. I thought it was a restaurant at first or something.
The guy just makes french fries.
Dude, he just does crazy fucking French fries, and they always have like steak, shrimp, and lobster on them, and like crazy stuff. But I guess he's a food truck guy out of like California. So I just look at his shit.
Sounds
and
like
then
we need a
all of
road trip here.
right.
Some homework.
Well, he needs to drive to us.
There's a new combination. Do you guys know who Bert Kreischer is?
Nope.
Stand-up comedian. Fucking
Oh, yeah, I do.
Yeah, The Machine.
Yeah.
No idea.
Yeah,
should watch
you
him.
need to watch him. You would fucking
Yeah.
love him.
All right, I got some. Shit
So he's
to
got
do.
a new cooking show on YouTube called Something's Burning.
Fantastic.
And so basically he brings on two comedian friends, and he has like a recipe that he clearly printed off the fucking internet and never made before. And he fucking makes it as they joke around, and they're always like, stop touching your fucking face. Wash your hands. Did you pick that knife up off the floor? What's fucking wrong with you?
That's awesome.
But it's so much fun, and by the end, somehow it always looks reasonably appetizing. It looks kind of fucked up because they're pounding drinks.
Right.
But what the fuck were they making? Oh, Scotch eggs.
Oh, that's a hard thing to make. It's a pain in the ass.
And the dude made a dipping sauce out of maple syrup and Frank's Red Hot.
That
All
actually
right.
sounds pretty good.
And Bert was like, that's fucking amazing. He's like, I'm blown away. He's like, I would never put those two things together. So
Yeah.
this little, you got to do something so I can swing in and
Done.
check it out.
Done. Big
Yeah.
maple buffalo sauce. All right.
Yeah.
I think I've done that. Actually, Lucioso's has that on the menu, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maple syrup
buffalo.
and
Maple buffalo, yeah.
Yeah, and it's pretty damn
Yeah.
It's
good.
damn tasty.
All right.
Yeah. Damn
right,
it, I
then.
can't do it. Bar down the street that serves wings already. does
yeah.
You can do it in like
I'm gonna have
as
to
a,
call it buffalo maple
a tribute
instead.
sauce.
it. Yeah, I give Lucioso's a lot of credit. They do my wing contest is coming up, and they Gabe from Lucioso's friends of the show. We record there often. He comes and does the wing contest. Pretty rad. Got a good thing going.
Oh, well,
Puts
like
a wing-
it's like a eat
spicy
challenge, right?
wings. Yeah, and he does pretty well. He's finished like third.
Gabe is mildly competitive.
Yeah, no, he was arm wrestling again, too.
Just a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You could the first.
You
year.
could be like, I'm gonna have a shoe tying competition. You'd be like, I'm in.
We gotta get Gabe on the show.
I was
Yeah.
actually talking to him after the arm wrestling competition. He was
was-
pretty happy because he
yeah,
beat the guy who took him out last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
did.
was surprisingly chill for Gabe.
Because his mom was here.
Yeah,
Oh, never
yeah,
saw
yeah,
him.
yeah.
It's a female.
Yeah.
Sweetheart. Debbie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Debbie Dare.
So I think that's last call, gentlemen.
Last call.
Hooray.
All right. This is last call.
Get the fuck out.
Very nice. I know. You can tell I haven't been here in a few episodes. Andy was taking the. Actually, you used to do it anyway. Anyway, last call. This is the portion of the show. We wrap up. And shout out a final idea, whatever, something we missed, or whatever the hell we feel like talking about. I haven't been on in a while, so I'm going to start last call today. Is that cool with you guys?
Do it.
Awesome. I appreciate that. So
I feel like you didn't wait for our answer.
I know, right?
That was the point. Hops and Hots Fest 2019 at the Speedwell Tavern. This will be the 4th Hops and Hots Fest. This is a weekend where we celebrate everything hoppy and everything's super fucking spicy. And we raise a bunch of money along with the Plymouth Fire Department for muscular dystrophy. So MDA, the Muscular Dystrophy Association, who has got a partnership nationwide with the fire department. But it's great. Friday we got Vitamin C Brewery, who just recently opened up their brewery. We'd love to get them on sometime. Dino and Red Hat Rob and all those guys are great. And then local brewery, Second Wind, friends of the show, Kenny Semkin, will be at the Speedwell on Saturday. We'll have a bunch of spicy foods paired with their beers, and I think we're going to brew something special for that. Running out of time, though. Kenny needs to get back from vacation. And then Sunday, as always, with Mayflower Brewery, we will do our wing contest. Spicy wings we don't have on the menu. We have some Plymouth Bravest come in and compete, and to get a trophy made out of chicken wings and raise a shitload of money for the NDA. So March 29th, 30th, 31st, Hops and Hots Fest, Speedwell Tavern. Fucking be there. Dan Mahoney.
Hi, Dan Mahoney. I have nothing exciting to report, so I'm going to just take credit for coining Punxsutawney Philling, and we should all do our part to make it a real thing now. So that's
Hashtag
Hashtag Punxsutawney Philling. You just wait for that first just nice spring day, and you watch for all those drunk groundhog assholes to come out of the ground.
A drinking holiday.
I'm
dude.
gonna get some fucking t-shirts made. Let's do it.
It's actually genius.
Yeah. I'm a little disappointed in myself for not figuring this out ahead of time.
All right. Well, I'm going to say we miss you, Carl. And thanks for letting us record in your cavern.
Yeah.
We miss you in the most plutonic way possible.
Except for Jordan.
Yeah.
He cried.
And he had no one to press his groin up against or whatever he said earlier.
Yeah, for this.
Oh, yeah, man. That would have been great.
Shit, we could have Flat Carl here the whole fucking time. I'm pretty sure Jim Casey has Flat Carl.
So for our listeners, Flat Carl is a cardboard cutout of Carl that shows up at the arm wrestling competition. This year there was 2.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't show up just there. He just shows up everywhere.
Well, Jim Casey stole him, so he started showing up everywhere.
Lederhosen Carl and
Lederhosen Carl, I think.
Baby Carl.
Yeah.
Carl holding Baby Carl.
I think the Lederhosen one is at Craft Beer Cellar. Because I saw it over there, and I'm like, what's this doing? She's like, someone stole the other one.
Never good.
And I'm like,
I did not know she had that.
And I'm like, well, what did Jim Casey do with it? She's like, I don't think he took it. So
It's National Pterodactyl Day, so I had to drop a Jurassic Park.
Is it really National
No, I made that up.
Because that made really no sense because Clever Girl was about Velociraptors.
Yeah, I know, but it was a Jurassic Park thing.
right.
Man, it was dinosaurs.
hold on to your butts, guys. Have a good night.
And so thanks for listening to the Bar Talk. I'm not going to close it. You close it. This is your job.
You're doing a great job.
No, it's your job.
Thanks for listening to the
Wait,
Bar Talk.
I didn't finish my last call.
Oh, all right. You were just going to say it. All right,
Check out the Inebriart podcast and go to Inebriart on Facebook and inebriart.com to check out all of our upcoming events for Art Week, which is the last week of April, first week in May.
Also might be Punxsutawney Phil Day.
It might be Punxsutawney Phil. Well, it's a whole week. So one of those days could be
one of those days.
We're going to have a lot of bar and restaurant-related events and brewery events and art stuff going on at all these places, so check it out.
I should do the same thing I did last year. We got to talk.
Okay.
All right.
Shit. Fish, remember how I said we have one day off? Probably not.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Sorry I'm a little rusty. This has been the Bar Talk Podcast. You can find us at Bar Talk Cast on Twitter and Facebook. We don't have an Instagram.
And Instagram.
Yeah, that's right, we do. I am really rusty. And Instagram. We really appreciate your listening. Please,
where can they send our questions?
bartalkcast@gmail.com. Send more questions. Those really bail us out when we run out of steam. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.
Punxsutawney Phil.